All 0 of you. I wonder if YouTube kicks you off live if you don't have any viewers. Because it just stopped on me. Kind of weird. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, you know, don't waste precious bandwidth. But, that's weird. Anyways, we're back making the cuts. Let's cut. Hey, we got the third side complete. Hey, one viewer. Working on a workbench. Just squaring up the ends now. I got kicked out of my other live. Again, I think it maybe has something to do with the fact that 0 people were watching me. So I don't know if YouTube has that ability to detect whether you're not being watched and then just cut you. So I think that's what happened. But anyways, I'm glad at least one person temporarily showed up. That made me happy. So we got this edge nice and square. Now we're going to do the third edge finally. For anybody joining now, I'm just squaring up. I did a double glue up of plywood in my last video. And now I wasn't too concerned about how even that glue up was, so the sheets weren't perfectly placed. So now what I'm doing is I'm just running around the table and I'm squaring it up, making it nice and square. We're going to probably mount the vise. I'm going to put another stretcher under the table. And if I have enough time, we're going to inset the router base plate in here. So I'm going to put a router table, basically the aluminum plate for the router, probably right here. And then we'll grab some T-track. And I actually have an old router fence from a Rockler router table that I bought years ago. And I've been hanging on for it just for this purpose, you know, maybe build it into a workbench. So we'll throw that there. And in another video, we'll make a fence for it because I don't have the fence anymore, which is a little bit annoying because they make them out of MDF. And what happened was, I think it got wet. It was in a basement. It got a little bit wet and it trashed the MDF fences. But I do have some maple hardwood, which I think I might use for it. So anyways, enough of me talking. Let's get to this last edge here. And then we'll bust out the table saw and we will start edge banding. Because I know this edge, this is going to be like a rough workbench most of the time. I'm going to do a lot of rough work on here. So I want this plywood edge to be protected the best I can. Okay, look at that. We got 8 people watching now. Oh, hey, Vincent. I was on DeLand's channel. He was gracious enough to interview me, which I thought was crazy. Because you're going to see the quality of my lives and the quality of my work is so far below like most of the people that he invites on his channel. So you're probably going to be disappointed. But thanks for popping by. I do really, really appreciate each and every one of you. Even if it's just one of you. That's good enough for me. That means at least one person wants to tune in once in a while. Now, I understand that this is probably going to be a pretty slow live. I mean, I'm finishing a workbench. Nobody really, it's not too interesting, but some of my future lives, I got some really cool stuff planned. But I need this to be able to build them. I don't have a good workbench, right? I have a little kind of weird workbench in the corner. And it's really hard to do lives because it's against the wall. So I figure this will allow me to face you guys when I do projects in the future. And I have a lot more room. And I have some really, really wacky projects coming up. So while this one may be a bit dull, the rest will not. Look at that. We got some more people popping in here. Mar, awesome, man. Or gal. Sorry, I can't tell from the name, but I appreciate you being a big fan. Oh, yeah, but DeLand's really cool. He has an awesome channel. His wood carving is just, I don't, like I was saying on that interview, I can't process wood carving in my brain. I don't know how they can do it. You know, I was watching on his recommendation. I watched a little bit of Matt Carves. I know that was one of the other guests that he had a little while back. And my gosh, man, like how do they take a piece of wood and just carve it out and envision, like it just, there's no way to write it down. It has to come straight from your brain, your creative brain. So always blows my mind when I watch those guys carve. Whether it's hand carving, power carving, chainsaw carving, doesn't matter. It just absolutely blows my mind every time. Really cool stuff. I'm going to do baby steps though. So I think the next kind of direction I want to go is, I don't know if any of you guys have watched Paul Jackman. I think it's Jackman Works, I believe is the channel that he has. He makes all these wacky things, and man, it's like high caliber stuff too. Like he does such a great job. But he'll make these completely wacky, ridiculous projects, but with such perfect craftsmanship. It's just refreshing. So if you guys ever have a chance, check out Paul Jackman. I'm sure if you type in Paul Jackman, it'll show up his channel. I think it's Jackman Works is the channel. And it kind of inspired me. I made a Swiss Army mallet a couple weeks ago, which was just ridiculous. It had no practical purpose, right? But it reminded me a lot of what Paul Jackman does. And I kind of want to go a little bit in that direction, because the whole point of woodworking is to have fun with it, right? And I can't think of anything more fun than making a useless object that's cool for the sake of just making it, right? So I want to do a couple of those type of projects. But I also really want to get into veneering as well. I always wanted to try veneering. You know, it allowed me to use some exotic woods that I couldn't normally afford. But that's a whole craft by itself, right? So stay tuned. You guys might see some weird stuff coming up. Or weird in the sense that they're different than normal straight up woodworking. I'll check the chat real quick here. Oh, I agree, Damien. You got to have a good workbench. Without that, you're not getting much done. Deez, what's up? Two vegans fight. Is it still called the beef? That's pretty funny. You know, it always cracks me up when people say, is that vegan free? And I'm like, huh, what do you mean? Is that meat? Yeah, it is. Vegan free food is my favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm not knocking any vegans out there. You do your thing. I do my thing. We all happy. Awesome. We got squared up, guys. And I was saying earlier, I have this, where is it? I buy this cheap Harbor Freight. Oh, hey, Amy. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Glad people are starting to roll in here on the Sunday morning. So I always keep a roll of this Harbor Freight masking tape around. It's god-awful masking tape. It's horrible. Don't ever use it for painting. This stuff, you just look at it wrong and it just disintegrates. It has zero stick. But what I love it for is when I'm making cuts. You know, I'm using a framing blade on this, which I shouldn't be, right? And I was kind of afraid I was going to tear up all this plywood. Whether it was a workbench or not, I still want it to be kind of good looking, right? Kind of like me. Kind of good looking. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I love to use this for cutting, right? It works well enough just to get past that cut and make sure that you have minimal tear out. So with a framing blade on this piece of plywood, it actually looks pretty decent here. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not sad about this, right? So pick up a roll of that. It's like $1. It saves your good tape for your good projects. You know, I wouldn't want to be wasting my Scotch tape or my frog tape for that. Okay, so we have a nice squared up workbench. That makes it look so much better now. It's not all jagged on the edges. So the next step is we are gonna cut some maple. I have some 3/4 inch maple. We're gonna wrap this thing with maple. Like I was saying before, I want to have a nice solid edge on there that's, you know, will protect the edges of that plywood a little bit. Now, let's brush all this off. Now I got some adhesive. Now it's, you know, for a little background, I'm in Massachusetts right now. And it is 20 degrees. And as many of you guys know, glue does not dry or cure whatsoever at these temperatures. So I picked up this Loctite, some kind of magic, I don't know, it was expensive glue that should go down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to try that out. We're going to glue the sides on when we get to it. But let me just check the chat real quick. Oh yeah, Vincent, Harbor Freight, I love it. It allows me to do stuff that I couldn't do otherwise, right? I don't have a ton of money. So you'll notice I have a huge mix in here of like tons of Harbor Freight tools. And I don't know why people knock them so much for DIYers. Their stuff is fine. I mean, if you're a professional, maybe not. I get it. But I'm just a guy in here on the weekends doing some work, and I couldn't afford half these tools if I, you know, went the Milwaukee or DeWalt route. I wouldn't have the money for it. So I used to love Craftsman back when Sears was around. They were like a great, you know, middle of the road type of tool that everybody could afford. And man, I miss being able to go into Sears and just buy a tool, right? That was great. I was that kid, all the kids were in the mall, you know, going to other stores. I was in Sears looking at the tools when I was a kid, you know, being a weirdo. But I still have a bunch of Sears tools, or Craftsman. And I bought them back when most of the stuff was still made in the United States. And it's been a long time since that's the case. I know Lowe's still has the Craftsman brand, but it's not the same. I highly doubt that the Craftsman brand now is anything but Stanley with a different badge on it. It's unfortunate. Oh, hey, Thomas. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You guys using up some of your Sunday morning on some boring guy DIY shenanigans? Pretty awesome. See, guys, that's why I come out here, is that my wife is probably sick of hearing me talk about woodworking. So I come out here and I talk to you guys, whether you like it or not. Well, actually, no, you guys can totally leave. That's my wife's situation. I mean, she could leave me, but like I said, why would she want to leave a moderately handsome, kind of okay woodworker? I mean, that would be a huge hit to her, I don't know, was that self-esteem? Or I have no idea. I don't know where I'm going with this, but. So here's the maple that we're going to use. I just got some S3S maple hanging around. I don't know if we're going to break out the joiner because this edge is kind of ugly. I don't know what the heck they S3S this with, but typically this edge would be jointed, right? And it looks like they just somehow cut it with a gang saw or something. I don't know, but it's a workbench. We're going to rip off the other side anyways. But right now, I just want to get a rough cut. And, you know, the issue is going to be here is that every one of these is going to have to be custom cut. So when I trimmed off the edges, I didn't pay attention to how perfect my measurements were. I was really just going for square all the way around. So I have a feeling I'm going to be a little different on each edge, and I am. Especially the edge on the back side here, which I cut flush. So it's going to be a totally different thing. And that side I'm actually going to leave off. I don't even think I'm going to put any molding on there or any, edge banding until I mount the vise. So we'll do the three sides. We'll cut the pieces for that side, but that's all we're going to do. So we're going to go with our longest measurement here. And I should be able to get, hopefully, 3 pieces out of this because it's 1.5 inches roughly. So yeah, let's start this. Also, because I don't have an outfeed, not an outfeed table, side supports for this. in the future think that might be something I add to this bench, is maybe some wings that fold up, so I can kind of just throw my miter saw on here and make some cuts. But we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Pencil. I'll chop through this. Now, I haven't used this saw yet on hardwood, so let's see how this blade. I got one of these Hercules full kerf blades for this. It actually came with the saw. It was like a return saw, so somebody must have bought a blade, forgot they threw it in the box and returned the whole thing. But this is the first time I'm trying the full kerf blade. And what I'm hoping is, I noticed that any of my 12-inch saws, right? If you use a thin kerf blade, there's a lot of wiggle in that blade. You don't get as straight of a cut. So this first cut, first full kerf blade should help with that. Should keep things a little straighter, I would think. She did a good job. I like that. I'll put this off to the side for now. Oh man, small shop problems. I feel like most of these videos, I just end up moving stuff from this side to that side, from this side to that side. Let me just check in with the comments here, see if 56. Oh man, I would kill to have it be 56 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, definitely not Celsius. That would not be fun, but. Oh man, Amy in the 50s, you guys are killing me. Oh, I would kill for that. Like 50s in the winter, oh, that would be ideal. Because I'm of the heavier type who sweats a lot. And I love the summer, but when it gets into the 90s and stuff, I'm not a fan. So for me, like Florida, the real hot, humid areas, I like to visit, but that's about it. Okay, I'm going to roll out the table saw here. Now, I actually just tuned this thing up, so I am wicked excited. Let's try this bad boy out. So a little bit of backstory. I won't bore you guys too much, but I love backstories, if you can tell. And I love talking for some reason. Even though in real life, I'm not a huge... okay, I kind of like talking. I can't really say that. Anyways, let me see if this is in view here. I'll go over a little bit more. I actually got this saw stop for free. It's one of their contractor models. It was from an old school, and they were throwing it out. I think they thought it was broken, something like that. But long story short, if any of you guys have seen my other lives, I don't want to bore you, but I got it for free. It was really beat up. I fixed it up, painted it, went through the whole thing, and it ended up working fine. So I somehow got a saw stop out of the deal. Otherwise, I don't know if you guys can see it behind me. I just have a little portable saw that I was using. This is a big upgrade. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the portable saw. It's an older rigid model, but nothing beats having the heft of a contractor saw, at least, And even though I have a saw stop, it's a very old saw stop. And I don't think I fully trust the fact that it is going to actually stop when my finger touches it. So always use the push sticks. Yeah, you Southern people, bring some heat up here. Come on, guys. It's rude for you to keep it for yourself. Actually, you know what? Let's see if this idea worked. I didn't think this through, but I was also hoping that this table could work as an outfeed support. It's a little bit lower, so I might have to make some kind of a contraption to. You know what I was actually thinking was, right? What's it called? That ultra high molecular weight plastic. UHMW, I think. What I was thinking, I accidentally made this bench a little bit lower than I wanted, right? So I wanted this to be maybe just a 1/4 inch lower than the table saw, so I could use it as an outfeed, right? But what I'm thinking is, because I did that, I can probably pick up some of that ultra low molecular weight, that white plastic, and make a couple runners that I can put on the bench to bring it up a little bit. You can see here, it's not quite flush with this table saw, right? So if I put some runners, for example, something like that, a couple of them here, make them, maybe screw them to a board, I'll have a nice frictionless surface that I can use as an outfeed. So that's what I'm thinking. My newest thoughts. But this should actually work for my purposes right now. And another thing I was kind of considering, right, is I a lot of times when it's nice out in the summer, I drag this whole thing outside. And I have a pretty uneven driveway, right? And it goes like this. So if I made those two surfaces dead flat, I have a feeling this would happen, where the outfeed table would fall and that lip would catch, right? So this might actually work out for the better than being not dead even with each other. Just my thoughts, but we'll try it out in the future. It's actually snowing right now, so outside is not a good time to try this out. Okay, 1.5 inches. Let's set this. The one thing I didn't tune is this tape measure here, so we'll see how that works. Okay, let's fire it up. First time using this baby. Oh, it turned on, so that was good. Now, for any of you that work with maple, you know that it has a tendency to burn up pretty easily, right? Oh, we'll get on the person on here. Oh, hey, Oscar. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Let's hope you're doing well on this fine Sunday morning. If any of you guys work with maple, you know that it has a tendency to burn. It's just a hardwood, right? And unless you have a super sharp blade or a well-tuned saw, you're going to get some burn marks. But you can actually see here, so before I tuned up the saw, the problem, and again, I'm sorry if I talk too much about my tools, but I love tools, right? The problem I was having is that my saw blade wasn't perfectly straight to the fence. So I was getting some serious burning. That wood would jam in there and I just have to shove it through, right? So I fixed that. I actually have a pretty dull blade on there right now. So I am super happy with this minimal burning, right? Pretty cool. That was the whole goal I was going for, was to not have that burning occur anymore. So I am a happy camper. So I just got to cut one more of these, then we'll roll this out of the way and we'll start edge banding. And as you can also tell, small shop problems. You probably saw my lights flickering. I only have one 115 or whatever it is now, 120 volt outlet in here. So all my lights and my saw has to basically run off that one circuit. Which, to be honest, I'm actually surprised it does. Being a 15 amp circuit, the saw draws almost 15 amps. So I'll take it though. It lets me do woodworking, right? Like I said, I can't complain too much. I'd rather have a barn, but this will do. Okay, so we don't need the table saw anymore today. Get rid of this guy. And then I will bring that table back into view for you guys. Here's my little brush thing. And if anybody's wondering, I'm wearing my finest woodworking PJs right now. I only bring out the finest stuff for you guys. I wouldn't be wearing my, my crappy PJs. That'd be rude. And another cool thing about this old table saw, they don't make them anymore, but it has this cool wheelbarrow kind of stand on it, right? It's like a wheelbarrow. It's really cool. Instead of having to fumble around with casters, it just has two big wheels on there. I can just kind of roll it right away. Okay, let's get back into view here. Make sure I am in view. Perfect. Get rid of the push sticks. Okay, let's check the comments. Hey, Mountain Man Axis, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Oh, Oscar, you have the finest PJs, workout PJs? We'll have to have a competition. I mean, I'm thinking I'm wearing, these are, I'm just going to say they're premium Carhartt. I don't know, they're from Sam's. Pretty sure. I buy all my clothes from Sam's Club, like this jacket. Like you can get like, I mean, I don't even care about brand name, but you can get brand names for like, I don't know, a tenth of the price you would pay anywhere else. Again, I'm not a brand guy. I could care less, but I'm also not going to complain either. You know what? I was going to glue the sides on. What do you guys think? I was going to glue them on, but if I ever need to replace the sides, if I glue it, I can't do that anymore. I'm thinking screws maybe every 6 inches should be enough. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I think that would probably work. So what excuse me. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to glue, not glue. I'm going to screw this on. We'll screw the longer piece on. I think I have a longer piece here, right? And then what we'll do is we'll leave it long, and then we'll butt these edges up against there, and then I'll take a flush cut saw. We'll just flush cut it right off. Again, this is a workbench. I want minimal amount of effort for what I'm doing here. So I think that'll be the way we do this. Let me go grab some drill bits, because we're gonna have to pre-drill this stuff. This stuff is solid. I don't want to go straight. We can go straight into the middle because this is all glued together. So theoretically, it should be pretty strong. Exactly, Oscar. You need to be comfortable. Hey, Jody. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Amy. Hit the like button. I appreciate that if anybody would. I'm a small, tiny little guy here on YouTube, and every like helps. And eventually my content will get better and better and better. Okay, what am I looking for? Screws. I think these will work. Yeah, that's about half the material. Yeah, that should work perfectly. Oh, I don't know, guys. I really should probably use glue. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. I have the glue in my house warming up, so way too cold out here for it. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Not that anybody's too worried. Be right back. I'm back. You know what I don't understand though? It said it wasn't going to rain today, right? I mean rain, snow. Oh, hey, electric whittler. Electric whittler. Sorry, I can't pronounce anything today. Thanks for joining. We're doing some edge banding on this workbench. Anyways, back to what I was going to say. I woke up and there was a bunch of snow on the ground. And I opened up the Doppler radar because I'm a dad, and I'm sure like that's just a requirement. You got to check the weather all the time, right? No sign of snow whatsoever, right? So I don't know what to think about that. Gross. Yeah, we'll do this size. Here's that stuff that I bought. So it's Power Grab Ultimate. Supposedly, this is supposed to work down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It's clear. It kind of looks cool anyways. They did the marketing right. Looks awesome. So we're going to try some of this. And you know what? I was thinking there was two things. I know I was chatting before where do I just screw it on so I can have replaceable edge banding, or do I permanently attach it? Now, I was thinking a little bit in that 30 seconds it took me to get the glue, and I'm going to glue it on. And the reason being is that this plywood was only 50 bucks anyways. So in 4 or 5 years, if I have to replace the whole top, who cares? Because I'm afraid that if I put this on with just screws and I apply any clamps to it or anything like that, I don't think it's going to be strong enough and I'll probably rip it off. So I think a strong connection with screws and glue is probably going to be the way I want to do this. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get to pre-drilling here. Again, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Probably just add one every 6 inches or so. Maybe 12 inches because I'm using glue. And you know what? Because it's going to bother me if I don't measure, I'm going to measure. If I can find any of my tools. There we got that. Just got my pencil. Yeah, we'll do like maybe 2 inches from the ends. And then maybe every foot or so. Should work out good. Cool. That'll work. And then just roughly in the middle. And man, this is some of the hardest hard maple I've ever used. Hopefully I drilled that big enough. You know what? We're going to go with the next size drill bit. I can already sense the fact that this maple is so hard that if I try to push it, I'm going to snap the screws off. I can just feel it. And guess what? Guess what drill bit I don't have? The one I want. I guess we could use that one. That's probably fine. Let me catch up here. Well, I'm gonna have to check out that spoon. I see a lot of talk on this spoon here. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out afterwards. Was it the electric whittler? I'm gonna have to check that out. Again, you guys with your whittling and carving, it's awesome. It's crazy to me how you guys can do that. Like, I feel like I can barely put straight pieces of wood together, let alone carve in like 4 dimensions. Okay, we'll get some screws. Oh, countersink. I definitely got to countersink this bad Larry. Now, if I could find my countersink, that would be awesome. You know, I am going to have to say, though, this is going to be another project. This is what I'm working with now, little bins of random stuff. And that's not ideal. So I think in the future, I'm definitely going to have some organizational type woodworking projects. Okay, well, I take that back. We're going to just send the screws and hope that they countersink enough. I cannot find, I had a bunch of countersinks and now I don't know where the heck they went. I'll look one more time, but I don't want to keep you guys waiting for this amazing content here. I mean, you guys must be on the edge of your seats waiting for me to screw this in. I know, guys. The tension. Wait, what's the right word? Is palpable. The tension is palpable. I don't think I'm saying that word right. I don't know where it went. The first person that creates an air tag that fits into all size tools will be rich. Imagine just being able to look at your phone and find everything. Talking about air tags, I have a fun story. If my wife's listening, she's gonna love this story. My son has a ton of allergies, and we carry around a little bag. It has his EpiPen, it has his inhalers, basically all the life-saving supplies, right? Now, a couple weeks ago, I left them in the car overnight, and they all froze. So, of course, once they freeze, they're no good anymore. So I had to go through my wife had to go through the process of getting all the new stuff again. So this time around, 2 days ago, we all went bowling as a family. And guess who left his bag somewhere? Boring Guy DIY. So, of course, my wife was like, come on, like you're dope. You need to call and you need to, get all the stuff this time, right? So I did that. And I told the people at the pediatrician, I said, hey, I'm a dope. I left it again. I lost his supplies again. I know there's no refill yet, but my fault. So the funny part is where I'm going with this is that, we figured it out. They were able to call in new prescriptions. I went to pick it up. And on the prescriptions, on the bottles of like the inhaler and stuff, it said, Dad left all the stuff, whatever, left his bag again. That was a note in the system. I just thought it was too funny to like, this guy's a dope. What the heck is this contraption? I've never seen this before. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut it off or I don't know. We'll try it. Yeah, before I get into some serious work in here, let's see what this chat's going on. Oh, Vincent, just get on here and just talk. I mean, look at me. Come on, I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. That's all it is. Yeah. If you don't want to talk, don't talk. Just show your craft. That's what we're really all here for. We're not here for this amazing personality. We're here to watch somebody do work and do some cool stuff. So get on your live and do it. Let me know when you're gonna do it, and I'll be there to watch for sure. Yeah, this is a weird. Oh, come on. Don't wait for 500 subs. You got this. I think I'm subscribed to you, Vincent, but if not, I will after this. If you can put your channel link in the chat, I'll check it afterwards and I'll subscribe for sure. I think most of you guys I subscribe to. You guys have awesome channels. Oh, man. Yeah, see the electric whittler there. Exactly. You don't have to say a darn word. Just do your craft. I've never seen this tip before. This is a Loctite. I've never used this type of Loctite. Usually you just puncture that, right? But it's like a solid hard cap that I can't get off. I don't understand. Like, I don't even understand what I need to do here. Maybe if I read the instructions. No, it's just a cut nub. That's wild, though. It's like a weird shape. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to cut that. I mean, obviously they have a reason for it, but... Oh, and Vincent, and back to the, waiting for a certain number of subs or whatever. When I first started this YouTube thing, which, still is very, very small, it just took me the day to just say, hey, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just going to go out there and I'm just going to have fun with it. And if people don't want to watch, well, it's very easy for them to just switch the channel, right? They don't have to watch me. And that's how I kind of continue my, my journey here is I don't care if people will watch me. I don't really care what people think. Because at this point in my life, I'm not going to change for anybody. This is the boring guy DIY you're going to see forever. And eventually you'll find a good group of people like you guys that realize that. And it may take a little while. You may have to, search around a little bit, but there's always someone out there that has similar interests. Always. Okay, I got that. VCL Woodworking, definitely going to check that out. That's the way to do it, Vincent, definitely. Just have fun with it. Because if you don't have fun with it, why are you doing it? Okay, we're going to put a bead of this stuff on here. We'll try it. We'll see if it works. I did try another brand. I tried some PL, something similar to this, whatever the PL version's counterpart of this, to glue up the, oh, darn. Oh, no. Oh, now I'm going to have to figure out how to get that out. I broke the tip off. Oh, man. But anyways, I tried a PL brand version of this stuff to glue the top together, and it cured at 20-degree temperature. So I'm hoping this stuff will do the same. Now, they do say that this stuff is a 0-second grab. So I should be able to just squish it on there, and it should stay while I add my screws. To save a little time, I will flush this one up. For sure. No. Well, that was a live power grab. They said that this would stay. Unbelievable. Okay, we'll leave it a little bit proud because I can always stand that flush. Once I get one of these on here, we should be good. We'll just do a little bit of drilling. That looks pretty good. And then again, if it's a little bit proud, that's okay. We can always come back with a belt sander and fix that. Actually, I think I'd prefer it that way. Good. Luckily, these screws are countersinking good enough for me without splitting. So I lucked out big time there. Oh, I gotta wipe off some of this adhesive though. It's all over me. Wow, though, this stuff is sticky. I guess is the point. Now for the plywood here, I purposely used radiated pine or radiator or radiator. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. It's a pine plywood. And the reason I used it, not only because it's cheaper, but because they're full like 16th inch plies. So I could sand the crap out of this top. I could refinish it multiple times and not have to worry about, you know, going through a micro thin layer veneer. Hey, Deland, thanks for joining. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, you got to wear the PJs. I don't have time to spruce up and put on my makeup for you guys. But, man, yeah, I don't know. You're in Michigan, right? So that is no way. It's got to be much colder than it is here. I don't know how you... Is that considered Midwest, I think? I don't know how you Midwesters do that. Or if that's even the Midwest. I don't know if that's considered Midwest or not, but... Cool. So we got that side complete. Really pretty happy with that. And I'm going to turn this around. And I think this is probably, I'm going to band this today. Maybe we'll sand it real quick. But I think that's what we're going to get done for today. I think we're approaching an hour here. So we're going to keep banding this thing. I did really want to get the, I wanted to get the, what am I trying to say here? Rudder plate installed, but that's going to probably have to be another time. Okay, so how do I want to handle this? Do I want to put a piece fully across? Just trying to think of how I want to attack this. Because I could put another piece across, but I know I'm going to have to piece it in because of the vise. So I think I'm just going to run them this way, and then I'll leave it overhung, and then we'll fix it as we go. I think that's going to be the plan. And we'll do that side up. And I'll do it about right there. And I think I did about 12 inches, right? The other one, so we'll do 12, 24, and I'll pull it in. Okay, this is going to be an absolute mess now. Now that I don't have the tip on there, but we're gonna. Stuff cost me $13. We're gonna make it work. I think we'll do. Oh man, Amy, I hate that. Is that when you like go to change your title or something, and they don't let you like come back and edit it for another 2 days or whatever? I think I did that once when I first made my channel. I kept trying to change the name. I was like, oh no, this is going to be a better idea. This will be a better idea. And then it was like, oh, you're locked out. I don't know if that's the same situation, but. This is not working out. I think I'm gonna have to get a glove on. Spread some of this around. Yeah, let's get this one on. Wow, actually, when you use enough of this stuff, it really does power grab. Wow. That's pretty cool. Oh, figures I say that, it falls right off. Come on, power grab. I just needed to power grab just long enough. No! And you'll see what I'm doing here. So when I cut these maple strips, right, there must have been a lot of compression in the grain. So they actually came out quite twisted. So I'm just working this is a thin enough strip where I'm able to work myself down the strip and even it out as I go. Because I do know that the plywood is pretty flat. So I'm going to use the plywood top as my reference. And just kind of work it as I go. And you can see here, it's pretty significant. I'll get this one up a little bit. Man, too bad I didn't have a close-up. People like ASMR. Got some nice squeeze out going. ASMR. ASMR. I don't know, that ASMR stuff, I know people love it. There's just something about it that irks me. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, not a fan. Let's wipe out the squeeze out. And again, I'm not too worried here because I am going to hit this with a belt sander. So once I do that, everything will be nice and flushed up. Ooh. No, looks like we're going to use a longer screw there. That just did nothing. And that's where we get the adhesive. That's going to be the real component here that's going to hold this together properly. There we go. We got 2 more sides. We'll cut everything flush. We'll all stand back and go, ooh. Ah, what a good job, boring guy. I've never seen anybody edge band that good before. Okay, let's do this one. I like this one. What I think I'm going to do to make this one match, I'm going to get my flush cut saw. Flush cut that right up, and then this one's going to overhang. Oh. Okay, well, I have to cut one more strip out of that longer board. I didn't consider that. That should only take me a moment here. Luckily, I think my fence is still set, so I don't even have to mess around here. Yeah, I love the chat. The chat's cooking today. This is great. Well, for me it is. I don't think I've got this many views in ever. I appreciate the support. But like I was saying earlier in the video, for you guys that weren't here, my next couple lives are going to be much more interesting than making a bench. I just had to make the bench to be able to make the other projects. Because I was sick of not being able to face you guys during videos. Now, this is going to be a nice platform, literally. Quite literally a platform. To be able to really interact much better with you guys. So that's kind of the goal there. And it's nice having a workbench you can actually work on, right? And that's cool too. I'm going to make one more cut here real quick. Yep. That was too much for the saw. Nope, I gotta reset it. That's the problem, is that I treat this contractor saw like a cabinet saw sometimes. And especially with these hardwoods, it cannot cut at that speed. Okay, that's gonna be much better. There we go. Now we got the right size piece here. Beautiful. Drill a couple holes. Sounds like that should be some kind of organization. Don't treat your other table saws like a cabinet saw. It's abuse. Let me pop in the chat here, see if anything's cooking. I agree, Vincent. His lives are great. Ah, you can blush all you want. We can't see you. Oh yeah, and the mallet challenge, I'm excited for that. I have so many ideas. I have a really good one. And it was actually, I have to give credit to my wife and my son for thinking of it, but you guys will see. That's all I can say. But it's probably going to have to be done in the springtime because it's a big project. So that's also why I was a little bit when you guys asked during that live, you guys asked, hey, is there a time limit on this? I think I was being a little bit selfish, and I said no, and that was because I knew I had a project cooking that I could not do in the winter. But also too, because I think it's just going to be fun to have this be an open-ended kind of thing, but a little bit of both. But let's just say it's probably going to be about the size of me. And if you think I'm just going to make a big mallet, that is incorrect. It'll be mallet related. But actually, since so many of you are on here, I actually will bring up what my next thing is probably going to be. So I made, for Christmas, I got these little Lego things. They're like little, they're retro Legos. So it's an old computer, it's an old radio, it's an old like video game system. So they're supposed to look like electronics from the 80s. So what I'm planning to do is they're probably about this big, right? Probably 4 inches by 4 inches square each. My plan is I'm going to make high-end matching furniture for them, little tiny baby furniture out of exotic woods and stuff that I have over here. I have a lot of nice exotics, some cool veneer that I picked up. I remember I was telling you guys I wanted to get into veneer. And I was going to make a matching set of furniture. So like a little computer desk, a little TV stand, entertainment center, stuff like that. So again, it's going to be one of those ridiculous projects that I think is actually going to be pretty cool and a lot of fun. That might not be, it might be a couple lives from now. So I think I have some prep work to do first to make that actually be a thing. But, and again, it's also pretty darn cold out here. So it all depends on if Mother Nature wants to agree. Okay, you're almost done with this corner. Okay, let's measure how much I need to cut out for this vise here, because that's something I'm going to want to do right now before this adhesive dries. Let's call it 8 inches. So that is not going to work the way I was thinking. Okay, we're gonna take this off and repurpose this for the other side. We're gonna leave this actually unbanded because the vise will not work. And guys, this is exactly a good example of why I like to show you guys my mistakes. Because I'm never going to be perfect. So we're going to reuse this on this side. We'll leave that side empty. Man, this glue smells exactly like model glue. Looks pretty good. I'm going to wipe up all the excess glue here. Take a quick look at the chat, see what we got cooking. Oh, hey Wes. Finishing up the workbench. Glad you could stop by. Right now I'm just putting some edge banding on there. Nothing too crazy. This is going to be one of my more boring lives. Nothing too crazy, but now I'm going to have a workbench where I can do some real cool stuff and actually be with you guys and not like off in the corner working on my little crappy bench. Okay, cool. So let me get my flush cut saw, and then we're going to flush cut this bad boy right here. You guys can see that. Awesome. Thanks, Wes. I appreciate that. So, Wes, I know you were on the other live. You gave me some good pointers. So, what I ended up actually doing was I cut this side, so I left the edges here overhung, so that way I could, put some clamps on it and stuff like that. But then I did the double up, like you were saying on your workbench. I doubled up these two 2x4s. I put some supports going across. And then I'm thinking I'm going to mount the vise, if I can lift it up, because I'm not strong enough. Probably right there. Now, I know it's not level with the bench, and that's just a side effect of this type of setup. I couldn't really think of something better, but I'm thinking I'll make the jaws extend up a little bit higher, so it should be pretty close to flush. So I think that'll actually work out pretty good. Again, there probably should have been a little more planning on my part, but that's not how Boring Guy DIY operates. That nice and flush, and then one more over here. Okay, well, I think we did what I came out here to do today. We got a nice square top. We got edge banding on 3 sides. And again, here, this is where I'll mount the vise. I just don't have the right stuff right now. But I appreciate everybody joining this live. Again, it wasn't a super interesting one, but I appreciate the support as always. It was really great for all of you to come out and watch me go through this. But yeah, we got a workbench. So I might do one more quick live on this in a couple days just to kind of get this completely finished. Like I said, I want to put a router table here. I'm going to show you guys the insert that I have. So the plan, this is going to be the plan. So that way you guys will know what to expect next live and whether or not you're interested. So I'll give you guys a preview. So here's the router plate that I plan on using. This is just a aluminum router plate that I got from Rockler. So that's going to go right here. And then we're going to get some T-track. I have some left over from a previous project. I'm going to put that probably about right there. And then, or maybe a little bit wider, wherever these holes line up, right? And that's going to be the fence for the router table. And yeah, so I'm going to probably pull this probably somewhere like that, because I think I made the other cross member like probably 6 inches past that to give me some room. So that'll be the plan. So that way I'll also have a functional router table, which I don't have, which is driving me absolutely nuts. So that's going to be the plan. And then maybe in the future, we'll add some T-track to the other side so I can clamp multiple things down, stuff like that. And we'll mount the vise and we'll call it a day. So I appreciate everybody joining. That was, again, super awesome. I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. And unfortunately, we're back to the grind tomorrow. But, you know, that's life. Boring Guy DIY. Have a great day, everyone.